Can the scars of Alzheimer's disease be beautiful? Until a week ago, I would have said no. Hello, I'm Dr. Renee Harmon. I'm the author of Surfing the Waves of Alzheimer's. It's a memoir about my husband Harvey and his time with younger onset Alzheimer's disease. I've seen some lovely scars on trees. A scar due to a trauma such as having one of its limbs lopped off. And when a tree is traumatized this way, it first forms a callus over the exposed pulp. And then it forms this ridge of scar tissue around the edges, giving strength to that weakened area of the tree. One of my favorite scarred trees that I visit often has a gaping hole in the middle of its trunk. I don't know what caused it, but I can see straight through that hole to the forest behind. This tree is on the bank of a stream, and its exposed root system is visibly clinging to that bank. There is a powerful beauty to this tree, and it's the way it's adapted to the changing course of the stream and to whatever it is that caused that hole in its trunk. But can the trauma of our lives be beautiful? The traumas themselves are not beautiful, but I do think that our painful experiences and the healing that comes later can make our lives more rich and more meaningful. So Harvey's Alzheimer's disease certainly scarred his life irreparably. How could there be any beauty in what he experienced? I have long rebelled against the saying, all things happen for my good. What possible good could there be for Harvey in experiencing this? I could see that maybe in time there was some good for our daughters and myself through this, but for Harvey, no. It's been 2.5 years since he passed away, so a total of 10.5 years for me finally to see some good that he may have experienced through this. So I think there is some beauty in living in the moment. When you cannot form memories or ruminate about the past or make plans, you can only live in the moment. When Harvey ate dinner, he could not also think about past mistakes or make plans for the next day. He could only enjoy dinner. When he went for a walk, that's all he was doing. Here was mindfulness in practice. And I know it must have been frustrating for him not to be able to grasp and hang on to a thought. But I think there's something beautiful about this too. I'm reminded that in meditation training and teaching, we're told that if an unwanted thought bubbles up, we're to acknowledge it and then place it aside. And that just came by naturally to him. I also think it is beautiful that he had this childlike view of the world at some point, right? He would marvel at small wonders. Things like a reflection on a window or light glittering on a goblet. He was enthralled with dogs and small children. I recently reread a journal entry where I talk about a short trip that our youngest daughter, Christina, and I took to Colorado. Before our return, our older daughter, Elena, and her dad were to meet us at the airport. As they were driving up, I could see Harvey talking animatedly, and Elena later told me that he was repeating, "There she is, there she is." And as they rolled up, without waiting for the car to come to a complete stop, Harvey jumped out of the car, ran to me, threw me into a bear hug, and said, "It's you!" Now, I can't say that he knew my name or knew what our relationship was, but I can say he would never have done that prior to the diagnosis. And what a gift that was for me, yes, but also for him to be that free to express that much unmitigated joy. It is a marvelous thing when we are able to drop that adult ego, that armor that we have built to protect ourselves, and let the pure soul child come out to play. The scars in Harvey's brain allowed him to live closer to the surface, closer to his true self, and maybe even closer to the divine. And my healing is deepening with this realization. Thank you. Be well and keep your balance.